I know that I look crazy and it's so embarrassing to come crying on the internet, but the stuff that I have been dealing with for 2 years.
Why are modern women trying to end the men going their own way, for short mgtow? This movement, where men choose to prioritize their own lives over traditional dating, seems to be hitting women where it hurts. Is it because they feel threatened by men opting out of relationships? Or is it the challenge to their expectations that bothers them? Whatever the reason, the strong reaction from women shows that mgtow is making a significant impact. Let's get right into it and see why it's creating such a stir.
I believe we're at a pivotal moment in Gen Z dating right now. I write a newsletter about youth consumer trends where I track all of these things. And this story was published in The Cut yesterday. They talk about how dating is a total nightmare, obviously, for many people right now. But they get into the fact that singles have always complained about how hard it is to meet other singles. Women in particular have reached a breaking point. I did a story at the beginning of the year where I talked to like 10 Gen Zers about why the apps were so bad. This tells a larger story. It's not just the apps. This TikToker stood up on a date. It's about how frustrated she is with dating apps and trying to meet someone. Humiliated, she records this TikTok and it goes wildly viral. Sentiment shared by a lot of these women is that they have full lives. This person who's quoted here is a pastry chef. She says 90% of the things I do alone. People want a partner, but they cannot find them. This woman says that she has not been able to find men in person as men look for younger women. She's gonna go up to a scantily clad 21-year-old who's having the time of her life and not a grumpy 31-year-old. This girl says that men are more interested in getting shit-faced in New York City, and she attributes this to like a post-pandemic thing where COVID derailed their prime sexual years, therefore they just don't want to settle down. Another woman here says that she thinks that if men have become more politically conservative, that this online network of men's rights activists are turning guys against women. So there's this confluence of apps are bad, but also men aren't interested in, settling down, and also men are more conservative. What makes the story more interesting is that this I'm looking for a man in finance video has been going mega viral. Obviously it's super catchy, but it's more than that. I actually talked to CNBC for this story, that Lewis is me, but there's this feeling right now with the trad wife and the stay-at-home girlfriend where women are feeling so burdened. We feel like we're never gonna be able to own real estate. We're gonna be working forever. Our jobs feel like they're going nowhere often, and we're exhausted. And there's something about a finance guy where it feels like an unlock. How does Girl on Couch ladder up to this? Part of the reason that this sentiment resonated so much, I'm not going to recite it because it's such an earworm that it'll get stuck in your head, but we all know it. Indicative of something bigger here. As I write in my letter, men in finance are known to be appealing in only a begrudging way. They have the reputation for lacking a personality, lacking time, lacking emotional intelligence, but they make up for it in money. And to Gen Z women specifically who are facing financial challenges like student loans, inflation, and frankly FOMO, I mean, those tickets to the Eras Tour in Europe cost a lot. Money has become more attractive than ever, but it's not just about being rich or greed. It's about unlocking things that women want and feel like they will never be able to have. To bring it back, it'd be very interesting to see where we are in 5 years with single Gen Zers, because the oldest Gen Zers right now are like 27, the youngest are 14. How many people get married in a generation? How many people have kids? Like, those are have larger economic implications. So while these are amusing trend stories and Megan Bonnie thing is funny and a TikTok earworm, also a much larger economic story. And that's why I think TikTok trends are so interesting.
The fact is that many men have decided they are done with dating. Their stories paint a clear picture of why they feel this way. Women on TikTok often say they want a man who is tall, works in finance, and has blue eyes. Yet, these same women wonder why no man approaches them. Men are tired of the mixed signals. Women pushed for feminism, wanting independence and equality, but now they expect men to pay the bills. This contradiction leaves men confused and exhausted. They feel like they can't win, no matter what they do. It feels like whatever they do, it's never enough. Many men share this sentiment. They feel pressured to meet unrealistic standards and are tired of constantly guessing what will make women happy. Instead of dealing with this stress, many men are choosing to focus on themselves. They believe they are better off on their own, free from the constant demands and expectations of dating. They find more peace and satisfaction in pursuing their interests, careers, and personal growth. Men are now letting women do whatever they want with their lives without trying to meet their ever-changing expectations. They are done playing the guessing game and have decided that their happiness comes first. And who can blame them for that?
You didn't like him? Why is that? Why do you say he was awful?
He was just very possessive. Yes, he had traditional views, but it was very like, no, you are mine. Like, gross.
He didn't like that I liked to party.
Just a lot of the comments that he made were very misogynistic and very, like, not okay. Just like, oh, I don't want anybody else to see your body. Just the way that it was said, I feel like is...
So he didn't want you going out partying. He wanted you to dress modestly. Were there any other things that you considered misogynistic?
Well, he for sure thinks that men are better than women. He didn't want her to have a career.
He was very fast with like talking about the future, and he was like, would you want to still work if you had children?
This guy's my hero. Like, I mean, everything that he's saying sounds awesome. I don't actually understand what the problem is. Like, he sounds great.
Yeah, I think...
She thought he was misogynistic simply because he didn't want her to go partying and wanted her to dress modestly. Do these women even understand what misogyny means? Or do they just throw it around whenever a man does not do what they dictate? What exactly do women want? They seem to want the best of both worlds, but find it hard to accept that life doesn't work like that. They expect all the benefits of a relationship without any accompanying responsibility. This is why men are increasingly looking for women who haven't been influenced by modern feminist ideologies. They want partners who allow men to be men and women to be women. It's understandable why men would prefer to stay single rather than deal with the stress of dating modern women. The traditional roles and values seem to be disappearing, and many men feel that dating has become more about meeting impossible standards than forming genuine connections. Men are tired of being labeled as misogynistic for wanting a traditional relationship. They want respect and understanding, not constant judgment and unrealistic expectations. It's no surprise that many men are opting out of the dating scene altogether, and some even end up as single fathers. That's most likely why there is a rise in single mothers today.
I really don't know when there was this shift in dating. Like in my mind, men chase women. Men chase women. Women get courted. Okay? That's the end of the story. Nothing drives me more insane than seeing these bum dudes ghost these stunning girls. This is absolutely insane. It's insane. This should not be happening, especially at the rate that this is happening. I hate the word playing games, but it's about time that these gorgeous women take that little deck of cards back into their own hands. I think a big problem for this is coming on too strong too soon and worshiping these men for giving absolutely nothing. Also clinging to them and being so easily accessible. Stop saying yes to their plans if they're asking you to come over at 11 p.m. on a random Wednesday. They should be asking you on a date to go out on Thursday night, and they should have asked you that on Monday. I have tried to explain this in like a really like calm, pleasant way before, but it does not seem to be getting through. Don't even give these men the opportunity to ghost you, because you should be dating multiple people, especially in the beginning when you're seeing somebody. There's no reason for you to be committed to them unless you're in an exclusive girlfriend-boyfriend relationship. Now, I'm not saying that you need to sleep with multiple people. I'm not suggesting that. You can do what you want. I would literally never judge you in a million years. But you are available to date multiple people unless you're in a relationship. So stop acting like these crusty guys you owe the world to, need to drop everything every time they want to see you, deserve your time. Because the fact is, when they realize that you're so accessible 24/7, drop you like a fly. I promise you. Human nature, sadly, unfortunately, enjoys a little bit of a chase. And that's probably why you like these guys that are ghosting you, because you're making up in your head all these amazing qualities that they have that you've never even seen just because you don't know them enough. So please stop giving these crusty men the time of day. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your friends, enjoy dating multiple people. Don't cling on to guys too fast, and just be smart about this. You need to drop a guy. You need to just drop him if he's doing these things. Okay, trust me. If he's only texting you late at night to see you, not asking you on real dates, yep. And if he hasn't spoken to you in 2 weeks, no text, no call, no. If he's on his phone a lot when you're together, also no. I could literally tell you 1,000 more, but the thing that I really want you to take away from this video is that you're valuable and you do not need to be desperately clinging to these men that don't deserve you. Thanks.
These are the issues in today's dating world. And guess what? Majority of modern women would actually take her advice, go on multiple dates, ghost men, make him chase, and everything in between. And at the end, they lose good men and come to social media to cry about men not approaching them. Men are increasingly stepping away from dating, and it's clear why. When women follow certain modern relationship advice, everything starts to fall apart. Men are expected to stay traditional while women are evolving. This is a glaring double standard. For instance, men are often expected to provide financially, be the main caretakers, and remain chivalrous. Meanwhile, women demand independence and equality, but still expect traditional benefits from men. If this isn't an imbalance, we don't know what is.
If my boyfriend asks me to marry him, I'm gonna say no. Why am I gonna say no? Because we started dating 5 years ago, and then a month after we started dating, his friend started dating his girlfriend. And they had a kid after 2 years of being together. We had our daughter after 4 years of being together. His friend pays all the bills in their home. We pay 50-50. His friend got engaged last year. And we haven't gotten engaged. His friend got married this past weekend. And the crazy thing is that when we started talking, he said, if we last a year, I'd like to get married and try for a baby. So a year came by, nothing. Then he said, well, maybe after 3 years, let's look at it like a lease payment. You get 3 years. 3 years came by, nothing. And then he said, maybe 5. 5 is a big deal. Bet. 5 came, nothing. So I got tired of dropping hints, got tired of sending ring photos, and I was just hoping that it would happen. So he goes to his friend's wedding this weekend, and I'm hoping that it would be a motivator, but to be honest, at this point, I don't even care. Like, I really don't care. Like, the magic of the idea of how he would propose and all of that, it's like, if you had that much doubt about marrying me, now I have these doubts. Like, why? What do you need? What's not enough? Shoot, I know I'm enough. You're not about to make me feel insecure. So he says, well, I made you the mother of my first and only child, and that should be good enough, because that's a big deal. That's forever. And yeah, it's a big deal. That's forever. But like, damn, I'm good enough to be a baby mama, but I'm not good enough to be a wife. So at this point, I'm like, if he proposes, I'm going to say no. Why? Because if it took him so long and he had so many doubts, he thinks it's all under his control, his power. Like, when I feel like it, that's when I'm going to propose and she's just going to say yes. No. I have some say too. And I can say no. Just because you propose doesn't mean I'm going to say yes. Like, for me to say yes, he's going to have to pull off a really, really, really nice proposal. Like, something super romantic. Like, Backstreet Boys in the background. Flower petals. Pink flower petals. Maybe a violinist on the beach. Or in front of the castle at Magic Kingdom with fireworks in the background. Something something to make it feel like it was worth waiting. Damn near 6 years, because we're about to be together for 6 years come this July. So come July, and there's no proposal, I'm gonna say no. If he ever asks. And if he doesn't ask.
She claims she does not care, but would she really be seated in a car making this video if she doesn't? They even have a child together. Yet, she said if he proposed, she would say no. In a way, we can't help but think it's all because she's comparing him to his friend who just got married, questioning why her boyfriend had doubts about proposing. Think about that. They've been together for years, have a child, and yet she's ready to reject a proposal. Women could have such unrealistic expectations, but when they see the relationship isn't going the way they want, why not walk away? Relationships should benefit both parties, shouldn't it?
This is a list of jobs that my future husband cannot have. Number one, I've realised recently, is a police officer. I cannot have a police officer, and purely on the fact that, what do you mean you are handcuffing another woman? What do you mean? Sorry, no, thank you. Number two, quite obviously, is I don't want my future husband to have the job title as a masseuse or a massage therapist or someone who massages. Sorry, why are you touching other women? Why are you doing that? No, thank you. Number three is someone who works in customer service. Sorry, you're talking to other women? No, honey, you're not. You cannot do that, sorry. Number four is a firefighter. I really used to love firefighters, but recently, no thank you, because what do you mean you're saving other women? What do you mean you're rescuing other women and putting them over your shoulder? Sorry, no. Sorry, not happening. Number five is pretty much any job that you have to work with other people. No, you can be a businessman who works on his own. That's literally the only job title, unfortunately, I will. Or if you work with other men, fine. I'll let you off on that one, I'll let you off. But if a woman comes around, unfortunately, you have to quit the job.
So your man should rather stay jobless? Once again, she even helps us emphasize why it's becoming clear that many men are choosing to step away from dating. Why? Because the expectations from women today are often unrealistic. They want a man who is tall, wealthy, handsome, and perfect in every way, without thinking about what they themselves bring to the relationship. These high standards set women up for disappointment. They chase an ideal that doesn't exist, missing out on real connections and genuine relationships. This pursuit of perfection leads to loneliness and regret. They may end up living alone, wondering why they can't find a good man. All right, guys, we've come to the end of this video, and if you enjoyed it, do well to click on the like and subscribe buttons. Don't forget to check other videos on our playlist. We've got some amazing contents for you. See you in our next video.